What's up guys, Luke Deutschlander here with another video. If you guys like my videos, make sure you like, share, and subscribe. In today's video, we're going to be talking about why you cannot waste your time dealing with people who are overly attached or have sentimental value to their items. Now, this video was sparked by a meetup I had today, and basically what happened is I tried doing a trade with a lady, and everything that she had, she pretty much valued like it was a piece of gold, or like it was a family heirloom and it was passed down from generation to generation to generation. Now, reason why you can't waste your time with people like this is it doesn't matter how many facts, how many logical statements, etc. that you throw at them, they're never ever going to see your point, and they're never ever going to see the real factual value or the real resale or fair market value of the item. Big problem. So, I'm going to go into this story a little bit. It's actually, kind of sad in a way sometimes, the people that you meet, because they're so far out of reality on the value of things that they never end up making any money themselves. So the lady that I actually ended up dealing with, she actually owns a very small resale shop in a town about 35 minutes away from here. It's called Stanley, Wisconsin. Smaller shop. And, very nice lady and everything. Kind of interesting background. Actually, her father apparently was a lead mob boss. I can't remember the name she gave me, but I looked it up. Completely legitimate. It was super crazy. And the funny thing was, is this lady almost swindled me. I mean, she was a smooth talker. Then again, I was up against some mob boss's daughter, so I mean, what do you expect? So I did pretty good because I didn't lose any money, but I ended up breaking even on the whole deal due to the fact that I didn't want to just walk out of there with nothing. Because that's not really what I'm about. I always try and get my feet wet, even if it's going to be, a small profit or break even. But I wanted to do a deal with this lady just because of the fact that, I don't know, I guess I respected her past and everything. But the big problem is that she was into trading stuff that was basically stuff that kind of sits around on the shelf for a while. It wasn't electronics, wasn't anything techy, just didn't have high resale value, or not a high resale value, but more or less just high sellability. I mean, this stuff is not going to sell fast. So that being said, we're talking, she wants to trade and everything, and basically what it came down to is she wanted to trade some stuff that basically would sit on my shelf for a very long time, and wanted to trade for an iPhone 7 Plus unlocked that I had. And it basically just ended up not happening. We ended up doing a trade for a couple of other items, but it was nothing really major. It was only like a $200-300 deal. Ended up being very small. I talked to the lady about her life and everything, and it was kind of more or less an experience than anything. But this interaction just really reminded me to make a video for all of you out there that you cannot be doing deals with people that have big sentimental value or just basically attachment issues to the items that they're selling. Now, this lady that I met, she had a shop basically filled full of what I would consider junk. Now, it's not junk in the sense that it's not worth anything, but the fact that basically, I mean, this lady's got just shelves and shelves and shelves of stuff that's never ever going to sell. So, that point being, how are you going to ever sell the stuff if it never sells? So, even though it's worth something sentimentally, it's not really worth anything in the resale value, because in the resale world, if you can't move anything, then you really got something there that's not worth anything, because of the fact if you can't move it, you can't sell it, it's not worth anything. Doesn't matter what the original dollar value was. If you can't move it, and if you can't move it fast, and it's taking up tons of space for other stuff that you could be moving, it's not really worth anything. So, that being said, I'm thinking all this up in my head. Obviously, I'm not going to tell the lady, straight out and just be like, this stuff isn't worth anything. I do this every day, and it's just not worth anything. And so, we're talking. I mean, we ended up talking for like an hour. I did have my girlfriend with me, had my brother with me, and my cousin actually, because it was kind of a cool little resale shop. I wanted to bring them down and just have them check it out. I should have made a vlog out of it, honestly. I should probably start doing that. I guess I just don't really like vlogging in Wisconsin because I figured you guys would think it was boring. That being said, just on another topic, if you guys would like to see some vlogs in Wisconsin, drop a comment down below. I'll definitely do some vlogging around here. I don't know, I guess it's my hometown, so I think Wisconsin's kind of boring. But maybe I can bring you guys some cool stuff. But going back to what I was saying, basically, we were down there for over an hour, and I could not get through to this lady. There was no explaining or telling her that her items were just, they're not hot items. Like, they're not going to sell that fast. And I tried explaining to this lady just over and over and over again why I couldn't, pay this, or why I can't trade that. She basically kept on trying to trade me items that in my eyes were pretty much junk, because I knew they were going to sit on my shelf forever. And she was trying to trade stuff that I had. Like, I had an iPhone 7 Plus, I had another thing that was sealed in the box. Can't remember what it was, but she was trying to basically trade a bunch of garbage, in a sense, for, you know, a bunch of stuff that I've got that's worth way more money. And when I say worth more or less, it was a little higher dollar value, but the bigger reason why it was worth more is because of the fact that it's going to sell right away. And her stuff's going to sit on my shelf for 6 months, maybe a year, maybe it'll never even sell. That's why she still got it. So you guys got to be careful of people like this, because they have such high sentimental value of their stuff that they will overvalue it, and basically they'll trade you, and it will not be an even trade. When you get done trading with a person like this, you're going to be right here. They're going to be right here. So you guys cannot trade with people like this. You only can pay cash. That's the other thing that I want to talk about, is people who are overly attached to their items or have sentimental value. Do not trade with them. Only pay cash. Because if you trade with them, you will never, ever, ever win. And I'm not saying more or less that this is every person like this, but from my personal experience, every person that has this extreme sentimental value issue with stuff, or getting rid of stuff, or they just don't like getting rid of the stuff that they have sitting around, you're not going to be able to get it for a very good deal if you trade. Because if you trade, it's almost like they want twice the value of what it's worth. It's crazy. So best thing to do is just try and get out of those deals with cash if you can, if they're trying to trade. Obviously, the most ideal thing is to trade up from something that you get. But when you deal with these people that have this over sentimental value attachment to their items that they're trying to give away or sell, it never ends well. And the sad thing is, usually they're pretty decent people. It doesn't make them bad people or anything. It's just the fact that they don't get that what they're trying to sell is just, it's not really worth anything. So that's kind of something that you want to keep in mind, and you got to just kind of back away from the deal, or you got to pay cash, or you got to make sure that you actually, you know, basically come out on the trade on top. That's the only way to do it. Now, the bigger picture on why I actually decided to, instead of turn around and drive away, is I did the trade due to the fact that, one, I don't know, I just wanted to do a trade, and I just thought it'd be kind of fun to sell something different for once. But two, I wanted her to respect me, because the bigger picture that I saw down here was that this lady, although it's a smaller town, she has basically a complete commercial and residential building that she owns clean, clear, and outright. She's like 60 years old, and she says she wants to sell it, and she wants to sell it pretty cheap. And there's a couple different avenues that I'm thinking on doing with it. I'm thinking on buying the building, and then on the bottom I want to renovate it, turn that into 2 apartments, and then on the top it's got a full upstairs. You could easily fit 3 to 4 apartments up there. So if I do that, and basically, I mean, I'm not going to say how much, but she doesn't want very much for it, but the cash flow return to the mortgage payment, or the payment, or, I mean, I guess I could pay for it outright because it's not that much money, it would be an insane return once the building was finished, as far as, you know, just basically cash flow. So you never want to burn bridges either. Like I said, that's why I always talk about people, and I always say it doesn't mean that they're a bad person. It's just watch out for this personality type. It doesn't mean watch out for that kind of person. Like, don't avoid them, because you never know somebody's story. But watch out for that personality type, and just make sure that you don't do a trade where you end up on the bottom and you end up sinking the deal and don't end up making any money. Just be very careful of them, and just know that if you do lose the negotiation, back out. Don't overtrade something just because you want it. Don't get emotionally attached during a trade. That happens sometimes. Emotions that are all-time highs when you're trying to trade for something, and then you end up screwing up. So you got to watch out for that too. You got to watch yourself, basically watch where you're stepping when you're doing the deal, and just keep calm basically the whole time, because this personality type really is difficult to deal with, you know, just kind of all around when it comes to actually doing the deal. Otherwise, I mean, from my experience, most people that got attachment issues with their items that they're trying to sell, they're just normal people. Nothing wrong with them. It's just you got to be careful, because it's almost like they don't know better when it comes to value. Like, if they've got something that's worth $2, but for whatever reason to them it's worth $500, they'll gladly take $500 and trade for it, even though you're only going to get, you know, $2 to $5 for it. And they don't see anything wrong with that. So you got to be careful with that. It's like they don't know better, or they just don't care, or it just doesn't register with them. So that being said, be careful of people out there that got sentimental value to their items, or people who have attachment issues to the items that they're selling, just because of the fact that the deal can go severely wrong and, you know, not end in your favor. So that being said, if you guys have ever dealt with somebody like this, drop me a comment down below. Would love to hear your experience. Make sure you like, share, and subscribe. Hope this video helps some of you, and I will see you in the next one.